Welcome to Knowledge Valley for IAS, IFS, IPS. We are going to discuss an important issue today, that is COVID 19 and disaster management. This is from Vision Magazine, April 2020. Why is this in news? Why are we talking about COVID 19 and disaster management? The countrywide spread of COVID 19 led to the discussions about better ways to tackle similar nature of disaster. 3 points you must remember about COVID 19 and disaster management. It is the first all India biological disaster which is handled by legal and constitutional institutions of the country. First time that a pandemic has been recognized as a notified disaster in the country by Ministry of Home Affairs, and the Disaster Management Act has been also invoked for the first time in India. So as discussed, first time a disaster has been notified by the Ministry of Home Affairs. The Disaster Management Act has been invoked. So you must remember the 2020 lockdown that was announced in March is from the Disaster Management Act. Okay, so it has a backing of the act. So the lockdown has backing of the act. The act's name is 2005 Disaster Management Act. So we are going to see about the Disaster Management Act. So before that, COVID 19 has brought in many issues regarding the act itself and regarding the health situation in our country, the health infrastructure, and how we can manage the health infrastructure. So you must have heard in news a lot of the positives and negatives, and a lot of discussion which has been done on how India has been able to manage the COVID 19. We have been listening to a lot of news on daily jump in the cases. We have been seeing how the government is tackling the issues. There is a surge on the cases. One of the reason was the inbound flyers. So a lot of issues here and there. So we are going to focus. This discussion is on those issues and what are the things which we can learn, and some nitty-gritties on the COVID 19 and the disaster which you must have not known, which I will be bringing in front of you. So whenever we have a disaster, first thing that comes in mind is how will you tackle it. But disaster in a country is not tackled after the coming of the disaster. It comes before. That is, you have a prevention so that the disaster does not happen. Then you have mitigation. Then you have preparedness. So we prevent, we mitigate, that is, we check the negatives, positives, and then we get prepared for it. So this is before the disaster, that is capacity development before the disaster. Then when the incident happens, so we have the incident happening. Then you have response, rehabilitation, that is a part of recovery, reconstruction. So you must remember, whenever a disaster happens, it's after the disaster we have response, rehabilitation, reconstruction. That is the recovery part. But before that we have prevention, mitigation, preparedness. So you have a protective strategy, and then you have the holistic, that is mixture of both protective as well as the after the incident, that is recovery strategy. Okay, now this is what is there. That's a strategy whenever there is a disaster. So we were discussing about the Disaster Management Act 2005, a very important act from which we notified the disaster and we worked. And as I told you, the lockdown which was declared was because of the, or it has a backing of the Disaster Management Act 2005. National Disaster Management Authority under the Disaster Management Act is the nodal central body. So we have the National Disaster Management Authority, that is the NDMA, with the chairperson as so the Prime Minister as its chairperson. Then we have state level and the district level disaster management authorities. All these agencies are working for for the, you can say, prevention. After the disaster, there's recovery, rehabilitation, etc. NDMA so far formulated 30 guidelines on various disasters, including guidelines on management of biological disasters 2008. So today, that is the COVID-19 we have. It is the first biological disaster that we have, and pandemic biological disaster that you have to remember. The 2019 National Disaster Management Plan issued also extensively with biological disaster, health and emergency. This is the broad legal framework within which activities to counter COVID-19 are being carried out by the union and the state government. So you must remember, the lockdown is from the NDMA, that is the National Disaster Management Act. We have the National Disaster Management Authority, we have the State Disaster Management Authority and the District Disaster Management Authority. So all these authorities are now coming into picture after the act is invoked. So 2019 we have the National Disaster Management Plan. Okay, so you have to just remember about these disaster management. So as discussed, National Disaster Management Act 2005, its institutional mechanism is NDMA, SDMA and DDMA, that is National Disaster Management Authority, State Disaster Management Authority and District Disaster Management Authority. Then you have the National Executive Council, State Executive Council. Then you have the National Disaster Response Force. So you must have seen the CRPF team and the ITBP team and the other teams. So from there we have the National Disaster Response Force. This is for all the disasters. Okay, so just remember all the disasters. I'm just giving you in relation to all the disasters connecting with COVID-19. Whenever you have earthquakes or whenever you have floods, famines, and even biological disasters, we have NDMA, that is National Disaster Management Act, which is having these institutional mechanisms. So very important, remember this. So whenever there is disasters, these things come into picture. You have financial arrangements, you have National Disaster Response Fund, you have State Disaster Response Fund and the District Disaster Response Fund. So these are the funds, these are the money. Then you have the National Disaster Mitigation Fund and state as well as the district funds, capacity building grant and response reserve. Okay, the PM CARES fund is not a part of these funds. It's a completely different fund that you have. Okay, so that's another controversy. You all can see that later. Capacity development is NIDM. Okay, National Institution Disaster Management. That's an institution. National Institute for Disaster Management is an institution for capacity building, that is before the disaster research and all is done. And finally you have the civil defense and you have the fire service, home guards, all these are part of. So you can see the structure of the Disaster Management Act that we have. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand. Whenever there is a disaster, all these gets you can say it starts working. Now we are going to discuss some important issues which you must have seen during this disaster, and you will also be knowing about the disease. I will bring some important issues which are with the current framework of COVID-19 disaster management, and that is why we are discussing these things. And one of the point we always say is the Parliament was not in action. The Parliament should have come in action and made some changes in the Disaster Management Act 2005. Let's see what are the problems, issues. First of all, there is lack of appropriate legal framework. The Parliament should have had made a proper legal framework, because 2005 Act does not manage epidemics. So 2005 Act was more for earthquakes and volcanoes and floods, etc. This was the first of a kind, so it does not manage epidemics, and it allows for over centralization of powers. Disaster Management Act was meant to be used in a situation where the state government was unable to work on its own. It was never meant to be a legal mechanism to control the state governments. So the first point is there is no proper legal framework for the COVID-19 biological disasters. There is over centralization of power. It was only, so Disaster Management Act was only meant to work when the state are unable. It is not to control the states. Taking a cue from the central guidelines on the lockdown, state governments, what did they start doing is, under the Epidemics Act of 1897, they started to issue further direction, which again led to confusion among the masses. And that is why you must have seen a lot of movement of the people, of the migrants here and there. Next issue with the Disaster Management Act is it's a top-down approach. It does not leave states with any maneuvering space. According to the social and cultural norms in mind, they can't maneuver, they can't take their own decisions. So just remember again, there is a lack of legal framework. Second is you have centralization of powers. It is the DM Act was only to be used when the states are not able to cope, but here it is used for bringing the states, to control the states. Lot of confusions among the masses because the states started using Epidemics Act of 1897. A top-down approach means the states are not able to take their own decisions according to the cultural and the social norms. Moreover, mostly the management of the health crisis has become an issue of law and order. You must have seen the health workers their lives are in danger, and the polices are being beaten up, and you have in some cases the police brutality, etc., etc. So more of a law and order situation has been come up. So the language used is still one of law and order: lockdowns, curfews, fines, surveillance. This is also a negative point in the Disaster Management Act. Disaster Management Act is not suitable to deal with the fake news and the false warning. You must have seen in social media a lot of fake news and false warnings, and major, and even some national media or some channels trying to convert it into a communal issue is again not handled in the Disaster Management Act. Section 54 in the Disaster Management Act makes it punishable to circulate a false alarm or warning, but it hardly makes any effect on the social media. Disaster Management Act imposes criminal liabilities for violation of the lockdowns. This provision makes it a poor vehicle for the conduct of the economic policy on a nationwide scale. The Disaster Management Act was never intended to be a key economic law. So it imposes criminal liabilities for the violations. It does not consider the economic issues which are faced by the poor. Also, there is a considerable discretion with officials. So a top-down approach, high-handedness, officials become strong, center becomes strong. A consolidated proactive policy approach is absent. There is ad hoc and relative rule making, lack of coordination between union and state government. So these are some of the problems which are in the Disaster Management Act. So just to repeat the problems, so first of all, there is no proper legal framework for epidemics, over centralization, states have hardly any space to maneuver, confusion among the masses, top down approach, the law and the disaster management has become a law and order issue. It's not handling the fake news and criminal liabilities without taking into consideration on the people's lives. And finally, no coordination between the center and the states. So we have seen what are the challenges which are faced by the Disaster Management Act, what is Disaster Management Act, and now we are going to see what can we learn from all these things which have happened in the recent past. So learnings are on the four main topics or four main points. First is information management. Second is inclusion of restriction and refrain. Third is ground level implementation and federalism. And the fourth is role of courts. Very important 4 points. So learnings from present management of COVID-19. The first point, information management. What can we learn from the information management? In this age of internet, we will need to factor in the reality of social media and global connectivity. So social media and global connectivity is a must. A lot of information is there in this media. So the government needs to do a lot to filter in proper messages and put in more messages, and to remove these the other fake news and those messages which divide the country and the society. Second is, in our Disaster Management Act, we have rescue, relief, and recovery, which we were discussing earlier. But now two more things need to be added, that is restriction and refrain. Inclusion of restriction is necessary not only to highlight the importance of the legal prohibition which exists in the DM Act, that is Disaster Management Act, but to also caution people of legal action which will deter them from fake news. Second is, instill a culture of refrain, false warnings at the community level. Accordingly, aside of imposing regulations to curb fake news, people must also be trained to realize the authenticity of the news. So first is restrict, second is refrain. This is what we learn. So information management, restriction and refrain. Next is ground level implementation and federalism. The capacity of different states need to be understood, and a lot more agile and differential approach of disaster management is needed. Close administrative and political coordination is needed between the states with the various stakeholders like the state governments, disaster management authorities, district disaster management authorities, local self-governments and other stakeholders. Close coordination is needed. Decentralization is needed. And finally, the role of courts. The constitutional courts must play its role. There is a bar on jurisdiction of courts, and there is no grievance redressal mechanism under the Disaster Management Act. So there needs to be a grievance redressal mechanism, and it should all come in the jurisdiction of the courts. Suo motu register of PILs should be allowed. Recently, we had the court not taking up the issue of the migrants, which was contested and debated in the various platforms. And finally, the conclusion: COVID-19 has provided an opportunity to us so that we can look into the loopholes of our disaster management strategy and relevant provisions under the DM Act. The knee-jerk hazardous response to current disaster are further compounded by local level conflicts between different segments or departments of the same state, which end up hampering relief work. Such issues need to be avoided and learned from to make disaster management policy work. Okay, so we have seen what is the disaster management, what are the challenges, what is the learnings, and finally the conclusion. Okay, so remember, the art and science of asking question is source of all knowledge. Thank you.